Yum. It is time for BLTs. Here in Alabama, our tomatoes have come in and they are gorgeous this year. We are going to make a BLT and it is going to make your mouth water. Come on in and make it with me. Hi, I'm Mary Katherine and welcome to my table. I'm so glad you're with me today. We're going to get started right away making this BLT. And I'm going to show you the ingredients that I use. A BLT, with those ingredients, you can't go wrong. It's going to be good no matter what kind of bread you use, no matter what kind of bacon you use, the lettuce and tomatoes. Just that combination of those things is going to be delicious. But these are my favorites. I start with the bacon, and I pick it up from Aldi's. And I was a little disappointed this time because I had to get the maple flavored bacon. I usually like the applewood smoked bacon. That is my absolute favorite to put on a BLT, but this will be good too. But I get that at Aldi, and this is the thick sliced bacon. And then just start with some good lettuce. You can use green leaf lettuce. These are leaves of romaine lettuce, but whatever kind of lettuce you've got is fine, but these are romaine. And then got some salt and pepper, some mayonnaise, and I love to put mine on these ciabatta rolls. Now, it's good on just loaf bread, if that's what you've got, sandwich bread. But these ciabatta rolls just kind of take that BLT up to the next level. You've got those nooks and crannies in it, and you toast it, and you get a little bit of crispy, a little bit of chewy, and it just brings it all together and makes it delicious. And I also pick these up at Aldi. You can get them at lots of different places, but honestly, the ones that Aldi has are my favorite. I think they're better than anywhere else. So I pick up my bacon and I pick up my ciabatta rolls at Aldi. And I usually get my lettuce there as well because the produce there is good and it's inexpensive. Now, the tomato. Let's talk about the tomato. This is what you want when you make a BLT. I want a tomato that is big and red and juicy and is going to cover the whole sandwich with one big thick slice. Now, if you don't find tomatoes that are that big, you can use something else. And I'm pretty picky about my tomatoes. Growing up, we had our own huge garden in my yard every year, and we would grow our own tomatoes. And there is nothing better than a homegrown tomato. And if you don't grow your own tomatoes this time of year, if you can find them at your farmer's market or at your local produce stands, those are going to be better than what you find in the grocery store. We are so fortunate to have good produce that we can get at any grocery store here. And that's wonderful. But when it comes to fresh homegrown tomatoes, you just can't beat that. So pick it up at your local produce store or produce stand or your farmer's market, something like that, or grow it yourself. So that's the kind of tomato we want to put on our BLT. So let's get started. I'm going to take the bacon first. So we're going to go over here, and I'm going to open this and just layer some on this baking sheet. I always cook my bacon in the oven. I always like to cook mine on the baking sheet because it cooks evenly, and it doesn't make the big mess that it does if you try to fry it up on your stovetop. And then while it's cooking, you can get other things ready as well. You don't have to watch it. So I'm going to use about 6 slices. We're going to put 3 slices of bacon on each sandwich. So we're going to make 2 sandwiches today. So I'm going to do 6 slices here. And I've got my oven heated up to 375 degrees, and we're going to pop it in. And it's probably going to take about 15 minutes. Might take just a little bit longer, but we'll check on it at 15 minutes. Okay, so while our bacon is cooking, we're going to get our tomato ready. And the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to peel this tomato. Now, you don't have to do that, but I just like it better when it's peeled. And so I'm just going to kind of take that core out. I just got me a bowl here for some of the trash. And I've got a tomato knife here that works pretty well. And I'm just going to go around and I'm going to peel it. And that's just going to let that tomato be juicy on every single bit of it when we put it on our sandwich. Oh no, you think I'm going to do it all in one swoop? Maybe so. You can already see how juicy it is. It's already getting juicy in my other hand there. I'm going to let that go and finish up this here on the bottom. All right. So now we've got all that peel off of it. I'm just going to take the same knife and I'm going to cut big, fat, juicy slices, okay? I don't measure it, but I'm guessing it's 1/2 inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch thick, but you do it however you like it. But I want big, fat slices for these sandwiches. Okay. And there we go. Okay, so the next step that we're going to do for this tomato, I've got it laying on some paper towels, and I'm going to go ahead and salt and pepper it. And this is going to bring more flavor out, but it's also going to release some more juices out of this tomato. And so I want to catch them on that paper towel, and then I may go back and pat it with a paper towel just at the top right before we assemble our sandwich as well. So now we've got our tomato slices ready. Now I've already got my lettuce washed here, and I may end up like folding it over like this and using, but I've got the lettuce ready to do. But I do want to toast the ciabatta rolls that we have for our sandwich. It's just better if we toast it. It's so delicious. That little bit of heat on the sandwich roll, but then you get the coolness from the lettuce and the tomato. Okay, I'm going to split this open. And then I'm just going to use just a regular old toaster. And one side is a little bit fat, but it's going to fit in there. And so I'm going to toast it. You toast it to your liking. I don't toast it very dark. I really just want to get a little edge of crispiness to it and get that burnness all throughout the bun as well. So that's about what I do. But if you like yours darker, then you toast yours darker and do it the way you like it. It'll be fine. All right, let's take our bacon out of the oven. Think it's going to be good and crispy. I ended up leaving it in for just over 20 minutes. It seemed like it was cooking slow today. You know, sometimes that thick bacon is just, I don't know, sometimes it takes a little bit longer, and this did today, so. How do y'all like your bacon? Y'all extra crispy people? You know, I see those pictures floating around sometimes with the bacon on a grading scale from like 1 to 6. One is hardly cooked at all, and 6 is almost burned. I'm kind of a 5. I like it really, really crispy, but not quite burned. My husband is probably more like a 3 or a 4. So, okay, let's just pat that extra grease off the top. I'm going to take our bacon over here. And I've got one of our rolls just came out of the toaster. So it's good and warm, and it's got a little bit of a crispy edge. I don't know if you can hear that. And that's what I like. And then there are 2 sandwiches that you do not skimp on the mayonnaise. Okay? It's a BLT and a tomato sandwich. Just a plain old good tomato sandwich. And those are the 2 sandwiches where you do not do light mayonnaise. And so we want to be fairly generous. You've got nooks and crannies in this one to get it. So I don't want too many globs, but I do want a good cover of it. So I think that looks pretty good. I'll set that aside. And then I'm going to take my paper towel here, and I'm just going to lightly pat the top of these tomato slices. Okay. Can you see? I don't know if you can see around the edge how this whole paper towel has just kind of soaked in some of that juice as well. So now I'm going to take a couple of these lettuce leaves. I'm going to put it down here on the bed of our sandwich. And then I'm going to take one nice big fat tomato slice and put on top of the lettuce. And then we're going to take 3 of our pieces of bacon, and we're just going to lay it across our sandwich like this. And then we're going to top it with that other side of the roll. And that is a delicious BLT sandwich. Okay, I'm going to give it a cut. Ooh. Look at that. Yummy. All right, let's give it a taste. I'm going to hold over my plate because I know it's going to be juicy. That is so good. That is summertime. That sandwich just says summertime. It's so delicious. You know, sometimes the simplest foods are just the best. You don't have to always cook fancy. You don't have to cook elaborate. Just something simple like this is so delicious. Try a BLT today. Thank you so much for joining me at Mary Catherine's table. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know I sure did, and I know my husband's going to as well. He's going to eat his sandwich as soon as we get off here. But I'm so glad you joined me today. If you like this content, hit the subscribe button and join us again. And remember, go out and find someone today who needs a little bit of kindness and give them some of yours.